Hey, what's up everybody? I'm back home and can get back into the normal vlog routine. I did the best that I could trying to do regular updates while in Flagstaff, but the Nordic Center where we were at, they did have Wi-Fi there, but it was, I'm guessing, like satellite Wi-Fi, so upload speeds were really bad. The few uploads that I did do, I uploaded those just quickly while I could, while we had cell service down in either Sedona or Flagstaff, somewhere in one of those two areas probably. I do have, man, so many images and stuff to go through. It's unreal. Even though I was, co-leading the workshop with Alex McClure, I mean, everybody shot tons and tons and tons and tons of photos. I mean, for me to shoot, anything over, 100 photos a day anymore is big. Like, I just don't do that. So for me to come back from a 4-day trip, 3 days of which were, pretty heavy into the shooting, with about 900 images, that's a lot. Yeah, I'm pretty selective in what I shoot anymore. I try to, slow the process down a little bit and just think about what I'm going to shoot, rather than going out, with the machine gun approach and just shooting the hell out of everything. I just don't do that anymore. I'm a little more deliberate in how I shoot. So with that said, when you're someplace like Sedona, or visiting the Grand Canyon, or some of the other places that we shot there, around Sedona, yeah, I just the opportunities were endless, and I felt like I needed to capture as much of it as I could, and still, be a little deliberate with how I was shooting. So for me to get that many, it just speaks to that area of the country. It is incredible, and if you live here in the US, you really should try to visit the Southwest. It's beautiful. Everybody talks about doing these far-flung adventures to other countries, which I do. I've got Iceland on my bucket list, and Japan, and still have so much to see in this country right here. Not saying that you shouldn't venture outside of our borders, of course, but there's so much to see here, and I feel that way every time I go to someplace new. It's like, wow, there's this here, how did I not make it here sooner? So a little bit about what I shot with when I was there. The camera that I'm using to record right now, the EM5 Mark II, I shot a boatload with that, and I shot with an EM1, and I shot with the Pen F. I actually shot a fair amount with this. This was kind of the camera that was always out of the bag and in my lap when we were going from one place to another. So that was the quickly accessible camera to go with, and the lens that rode on that most of the time was the 17mm, like it would here, but also the 12mm f2 as well. Again, I'm sticking with just the primes on that camera. It's like my little thing I'm doing. Lenses. So if you watched one of the 2 vlog posts that I actually accomplished when I was out there, and I spoke about shooting the Grand Canyon, like, what do I need to take? What should I expect when shooting the Grand Canyon if you're somebody considering it? Take everything you've got. I swear, you're gonna use it. I even shot with the 300mm f4 with the teleconverter on. Granted, I shot very few photos with it, but the photos that I did shoot with it, I think really helped capture just how grand it is. I've got shots of a few people that I'll share right here. Like this first shot is of one of the workshop attendees, Frank Ruggles. Super cool guy. I'll try to put links below to some of his social channels. Excellent photographer. He's got like one of those crazy life stories that you just got to sit around the campfire and listen to. But so that shot that I just shared of Frank was shot with the 300 millimeter on, and I think, you know, like I said, it just kind of helps add scale to the image, you know. It compressed the background, you know, almost into oblivion, but you can tell that he's up there and out there. Another example is this shot of this girl right here doing yoga. No idea who she is. Shot like 5 or 6 photos of her doing yoga poses. You know, her and her boyfriend both were doing yoga poses, and shot these photos and never got a chance to catch up to her, you know, because Grand Canyon's so busy, so I didn't get a chance to share the photos I shot with her. So I will only probably use the photo that I'm showing you right now from the back, so that there's no face. I don't like sharing something that's has a single individual as a focal point without letting them know that I'm doing it, even though it's a public space and technically I have all rights to do so. Just a shot like that is probably something you would want to be able to give to that person. So maybe at some point I'll share some of the other shots where you can see her face, and who knows, if she sees the photos, then I'd be glad to send her a print. But so yeah, that's with the 300 millimeter. It's funny because for big scenes, you know, your gut reaction tells you go with the widest lens you've got, and sometimes that isn't necessarily the case, and that's why I wanted to share those 2 images with the 300. And actually I believe both of those were with the 300 and the teleconverter on, so that puts it at like 420 millimeters, which is like an insanely long amount of reach. So for them to be as large as they are in the shot, you can tell I've just got big focal length, but I was quite a ways away from them when I did it. Share a few more shots here, and these will just be shots that have been taken, you know, in the Grand Canyon, outside of the Grand Canyon, and everywhere else. And what I'll do is put a descriptor on each of the images so that I don't have to sit here and tell you what they are. So sit back, watch the images slide across the screen. It's good to be back home with my family, and I'm going to get to taking care of all of this crap that I brought back with me. Oh, one more thing. There's a review coming up for this right here. This is the Vanguard tripod that I've got, that they sent me for review. It's part of the Veo line. It's the 265 CB, as in carbon fiber. It has been nice to have a lighter tripod, because the amount of hiking and walking that we did was a lot. It was a lot. Every night when we returned back to the Nordic Center, everyone was exhausted. So having this attached to my backpack and with me everywhere I went was a blessing. The ball head performed flawlessly. And like I said, you know, there's a review coming up, but I still just wanted to give Vanguard a shout out for sending me something that made my life a lot easier while I was in Arizona, and it's going to continue to do so here in Michigan. So stay tuned for the review for that. I'll give a link to the product below so you can go check it out. You know, you can get an idea of what something like this costs, and maybe it's something that will work in your bag setup. I'm going to cut out of here, and like I said, enjoy the photos. Looking forward to any kind of questions or feedback you've got. Take care. Bye.